All right, folks. Here we are. This is the best of 5, which I guess it does not say on screen right now. Let me just add that. This is the best of 5 semifinal. Semifinal number 2 in the Masters of Rage Forest. We've got Team Tag versus Team Amigos. And the setup here was very complicated for me because of some issues. So I think audio should be fine now. We are going to slowly catch up to live time, but I have to immediately direct your attention towards this side because we've got Sorakuma for Team Tag in the orange up against Barles in the blue. And, I mean, Sorakuma's gotten exactly what he wants so far. Nice early damage. Or, you know, we have the villager walled here. That's a lame. And, yeah, a lot happening to slow down Barles. So this is the flank on this side. The flank on the other side is pretty chill. Again, I'm going 2 times speed till we're caught up. And there's actually no easy entryway and opening through the middle, which can sometimes happen on Black Forest. So this means, like, my gut reaction's telling me there needs to be some big army play potentially from the pockets. Depending on how many walls come up for Sorakuma. Because, like, this left side is super exposed. The right side is super walled up. Nice job here from Barles. Guys, how's the sound? Is the sound fine? Is it too quiet? Keep in mind it'll get significantly louder later on. Just let me know. The settings are different. Also, like, some of the stats that are typically here won't work because I'm, like, not on my account. So, okay, it's fine now. It's 15% too low. Okay, I'm going to increase it slightly. And I might turn it down later if it gets too loud. Because we don't have attack signals. We don't have lots of other things happening right now. So quiet is good because it is a quiet time in the game. Now, Madri is the pocket on this side. He actually is going to take this pond. So that's interesting. He's going to fish boom there. Oh, and the pond is here? For Tag? I mean, my feeling is this is really good for the Amigos then. Because the flank player has the Vil War, the flank player has to be aggressive. And so it's hard for the flank player to really take advantage of that pond. The way the script works, there will be similar amounts of pawns or the same amount of pawns on both sides. But, yeah, I think, and I'm not the most experienced Black Forest player ever, but it seems pretty reasonable. This is a massive, massive advantage for the Amigos. Just from the fact that one of the pockets has the pond. Someone says, who is Z40? Z40, and Z40 is really good. Go watch some Titans League Golds. Go watch some Titans League Silver. Look at the elo next to his name. Z40 is a very talented player. The Tag's a bit of an interesting team because you had all Taiwanese players for quite a while. Many of them are getting improved. Oh, we have a sneak here from Valis. Holy crap. Okay. And then they brought in some international players, as they said it. So Sato and also MBL joining. Yeah, that sneak from Valis is actually sick. So he's walled here. And then MBL's also here as well. What the? Oh, man, guys. I've missed a lot of things here. I shouldn't look at chat. Feel like MBL's rush isn't going to accomplish a ton. Like, a 2-villager tower won't do anything. And the fact that he has no clue that the archers are here is devastating. These archers can go to both sides as well. They can move over to Sato, and they can hit MBL. Barles is actually coming with army to come kill MBL's sneak, which is honestly very likely. And MBL, the only positive he had was that he had safe eco here. And he does not notice this. Horrible, horrible, horrible stuff for MBL. No army here. Barles obviously going to have some struggles on the flank. But he should be able to come through here. And MBL's sneak will go down. MBL's eco is a disaster. These archers can then move over towards Z40. Eco count is similar right now. But I have a feeling that will change. Madri has the fish boom. Madri can bring some siege to push Sato from this side. And more archers coming in as MBL wants to wall that up quickly to stop the archers from moving different directions. Sato can come over here. Again, we're doing double speed until we're at live time, guys, so everything's happening a lot faster. But look at those town centers going up for the pockets right now for the amigos. These archers, wow, without capture rate, without my version of capture rate, I can't see how many kills these have. What? Okay, well, they killed stuff. How much stuff? We'll have to pay closer attention. I might be able to fix that. But yeah, due to the bugs, had to download an old version. Sorakum is up. Sorakum is trying to get the fish boom going, which will take some time. Sorakum is also on stone, so this feels like fast imp behind a castle. A nice job from Sato here to help out against the sneak from Valis. I also really like the wall from MBL so the archers can't keep moving towards him. But the range is still here, and the archers can move in against Sato. Sato lost the towers. And Sato is barely going to make it to Castle Age here. How is Sato supposed to survive this on his own? I mean, I'm assuming Madri will add monks. If Madri adds monks with the mangonels, Sato is completely dead. Sato needs to complete this stable so he can make some knights, maybe. Again, that fish boom for Madri combined with the TC is really good start for him. You think of the best two players on tag, you think MBL, you think Sato. And they've both taken crazy damage. But Sorakum is on the way to Imp right now with Plumes this side. So Barles could be in trouble, actually. I don't know if he's going to be in as much trouble as Sato is. That's certainly painful for Sato. Down to 15 villagers with nowhere to run either. Completely surrounded. And now Imp is in. Imp is not in. Imp will soon be in for Sorakuma. And I think Sorakuma needs to do the same thing to Barles that everyone's doing to Sato. They needs to just kill him. Yo, Valis has walled this too? Oh, man, that's so sick. They could genuinely defeat Sato right now. That's, I mean, the sneak from Valis has been legendary. It's damaged 2 players. And Sato's 11 eco, 7 of it was inside the TC. Sorry, no, all of it is either in the TC or around the TC. He can't go anywhere. And there's a castle on his face now as well from Valis. I think Barles is going to need to relocate eco or get help immediately. Ganji's on the way to Imp. Ganji's going to be the one to support. He's dropping siege workshops, probably planning for bombard cannons. I think Paladin could be an option as well for Ganji. Sato is just simply trying to avoid defeat. Like, these vills are trying to escape somewhere, and MBL still hasn't been able to break through here because Valis has gone for another rewall. Game 1 of the semifinals, Sato is running for his life right now. I think they should be able to see everything as well because the outpost, it's just, can they get everything there? Sato's doing the right thing at least to, like, split up his vills. Oh my god, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Run, Sato, run. Don't die, bro. Okay, siege workshop is down. He needs to run towards MBL's army, and then maybe he's fine. Oh, Valis knows that that's going to defeat him. He wants it so bad. Okay, but Sato will survive with 3 vills at least. These other vills are all going to get sniped. We really should focus our attention over here now. There's also this to think about. Z40 has dropped a forward castle. He's petarded through, so he can go for war wagons. He's also dropping barracks to go condos, which he can make because of the Italian team bonus. 1 villager, 2 villagers, 3 villagers for Sato. We'll keep you updated there. And obviously MBL's in such a bad spot as well because he had to save Sato. He's only at 50 eco. Which you could say is the same as Valis on that side, but Valis is flank. So that's completely fine. The pockets for the amigos are fully boomed. Tough job for Barles here. He's in Castle Age. He's not on the way to Imperial Age, and he needs to survive. We have supplies on the way for Ganji. Let's go. So again, it's old patch, which is why we had some issues here today. But that means we still have supplies. Interesting that he wants to go champion and onager. I think that's so you're in a good position to defend against the condos and the plumes. And potentially the eagles later on from the Mayans. Does Sato have a lumber camp? Yeah, it looks like he has a lumber camp. This castle needs to go up fast here for Ganji. Barles is losing ground. But Barles is keeping Vils alive, and he's relocating, which I think is important. Also, Madri isn't needed on the right side. Like, they've done so much damage over here. Madri can send all of his support to the left. So pretty soon, it'll be Ganji, and it will also be Madri on the left side. But honestly, the champion play hasn't worked out yet because champions also struggle against the plumes. So it's really an awkward comp for Ganji to manage on his own. Condos will dive through. I really like the condo move from Tag. Onagers get sniped. And Trebs are already on this castle. So Ganji's going to need a response here. Ganji's struggling a little bit. Again, he doesn't have the craziest boom. It's obviously very good compared to everyone else, but he didn't get to sit on like 140, 150 eco forever. And Teutons are very awkward civ to control at times. Big onager shot does land. Only killed 2 plumes, though. And champion upgrade on the way. Thank you, Splines. I'll turn it on to normal speed now that we're caught up. Elite latest for Madri. I don't know how many relics he's going to get because one relic is stuck in the middle. Also, maybe someone in chat can tell me how many relics typically spawn on this map, because I think it's a bit different than standard. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it is just 5 relics. I know certain maps will add larger amounts of relics. That's a lot of towers here from Z40. Wow, they're really going to lock down this side. I still am very concerned that they'll struggle on this side because Sato's out of the game and MBL's not in a great position. But they're at least going to fortify this. Also, Sato is booming. Hypes in chat for Sato. Let's go. But, I mean, Elite Latis, Onager, and Champion now. If the towers weren't there, I would say that there'd be no chance for them to be able to hold this. But the towers help out a lot. And there's some there's the coinage upgrade from Z40. He'll start to share some resources with Sato, probably, to get him back into the game. There's the occasional cameo conflict on this side. Valis is in imp already. Wait, no, that's the first armor upgrade. My bad. So he's not in imp already. Siege Onager on the way for Ganji. And Sato is using the taunts to ask for resources right now. Yo, supplies. Thanks for the gifted, man. I'm sure you're pumped to see supplies one last time before it's officially gone from the game. Yeah, Elite Plume is in. The upgrades are pretty much in full here for Sorakuma. Sorakuma's had a sick game. Sorakuma and Z40 have both played incredibly well. But obviously they didn't get hit with the sneak archers from Valis. So that was part of the issue here. MBL getting pushed all the way back. Siege Onager 50 seconds away here for Ganji. The champions will be important for if the Halbs ever getting close to this comp. And it seems like they're ready. The Latists are going to run through. Barracks are being deleted here, so the Latists can go through. They're not pathing great, though. Might need a bit more patience here. They're not being very patient. They're diving in. They obviously have a significant lead. And Siege Onager's about to complete. They really just need to take care of these Trebs. They will take care of the Trebs, and they do have Siege here to take down the towers as well. And so all the plumes back away. Halbs completely disappeared. 200 population lead for the Amigos here. And, I mean, it's just the perfect start from them, honestly. That sneak from Valis was amazing. And MBL's sneak was immediately dealt with in very quick fashion. And when you sneak, you set back your own eco, right? So MBL's sneak damaged... It didn't do damage, and then he took crazy damage. Yeah, this is what you want. Siege Onager on Black Forest. Bombard cannons. Some of the strongest cavalry in the game. And now ranges for Valis, who is going to be an imp soon. MBL's already an imp. But clearly, I mean, MBL's next on the list of people to kill here. Or maybe they're just looking for Sito. Who knows? Yeah, Barrow's just kind of relocated some of his eco here. He's not really doing a ton right now except booming. He's already adding trade. Because he's not needed right now, so he can go for the heavy trade. Bank up the gold. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Barrow's just slings for a while. Armenians don't offer a ton when it comes to military compared to other civs. And no one else is trading super heavily, so... I think that Ganji might just receive resources from Barrow's for a bit. Super nice that Barrow's isn't actually immediately needed in the fights. I'm not seeing any plans. Okay, there's 2 barracks, so he might go for champion, actually, which could be really solid. I'm seeing signals. Madri's probably saying, cut here, please. Open this up, and then I can easily access your side instead of having to loop the whole way around. That makes sense because of where the castles are, right? The castles are here. So if you can cut through there, it could be really strong. Yeah, again, I don't think they're pushing these towers back. This is where Barrel started. Pushing these towers back feels impossible. It's not like you can just make bombard cannons against Korean towers. The Korean towers outrange the bombard cannons. But if you go this way... And what's up, Smarthy? Nice to see you. Then you can access MBL pretty easily. So we'll see if MBL can cockroach it up. Stay alive. Kind of on his own up there. And that if any of that pressure swings to the north, then that's Tag's opportunity to push here. Smarthy says, wait, I'm still a mod. You are. You are still a mod. Don't ban anybody, please. Well, unless they deserve it. Smarthy just showing up to hang out and still has the mod powers. I think we did retire your role in the Discord. But a certain streamer who will not be named can be quite lazy and forgetful sometimes, and those changes didn't necessarily reflect onto the stream, apparently, so nice to see you. Smarthy, one of the OGs. Oh, man, there's an onager here from Valis, and there's a pause. And, I mean, they could just cut right into MBL's eco here and raid with Latus. They also can just cut right here and get into Z40's eco. Z40's had a great game, but Z40 hasn't been hit at all. So that's an issue. And, you know, part of why Z40's been able to do so well is because life hasn't been very hard for him at home. It's about to be difficult. Trees go down. Even just 10 Latus into the eco would be horrible. Sato's building a TC here, which is hilarious. Sato's gonna be like, what? Why are they focusing on me, man? I mean, well played from Z40 and from Sorakuma to push on this side. They're making progress. But now the Latus are in. Sato's going to do what he can. Maybe try and re-wall or attack the onager with a villager, which is funny. And MBL, he's got big problems here as well. There's slingers in the mix. There's Latus in the mix. Oh, man, there's Latus in the eco. There's Latus on MBL's army. MBL's going to get pushed right back here. And they still haven't made insane amounts of progress here. The only way Tag have any chance is if they continue to make progress. If they take down this area, this screen, it's winnable. Because, like, right behind this is all of Ganji's eco, the fish boom. But it feels like super unlikely they're going to be able to do that. And it feels very likely that MBL is just going to be killed off here. And then Sato, who still has no chance to come back to the game, really. But his boom from 3 villagers to 40 is going to disappear. I think Amigos have Tag exactly where they want them here. Well played. Really well played. I was, you know, this is my warm-up game as far as casting's concerned. Here comes the onager cut through the middle, too. Missed a couple of shenanigans in the early stages, and really wish I would have seen the villagers there from Valis sneaking a bit earlier. And MBL. I wish sneaks on Black Forest happened more frequently, and then it actually happens, and I just completely missed it. This does hurt Madri to lose the fish boom. That's a frustrating one, but I think he'll be fine. He still has really good economy. He can always receive food from an ally. The cut has happened now. Barles is going to be fighting with army for the first time in a long time. Look at that teamwork. Ganji cutting all the way through. Now a castle from Barles, and I'm sure more barracks to go for champs. And now a line of Towlers from Valis as well. Just right in that opening there so they can't re-wall it. MBL's kind of holding. But, I mean, what is he holding here? He's holding the front of his base next to all of his eco. It's not a great position to really be proud you're holding in the first place. But you got to do what you got to do at this point. We do have an undercut this way from Z40, which is interesting. Doesn't really give them immediate access into the trade, though. And, yeah, I think GG's called here. Felt like this one was over for a while. Game 1. We'll go to the Amigos. And honestly, it's just... This is a game that shows you how good Amigos are. Because they all did the right things pretty much the entire game, dude. Like, the sneak from Valis was absolutely top tier. Follow-up, perfect. The boom from Ganji and the defense on Barles, absolutely perfect. Madri's fish boom, Madri's help with the push on this side, just absolutely perfect. And then, like, Barles lost his whole freaking base. And here we are, and he's on champion with upgrades 22 trade, and he's going for a push. I mean, it's just, they're just so good. That was a great game. Here we are, game number 2. Pawn check. Pawn check. Are the pawns fair? We got 1 pawn here. We got 2 pawns here. And then the other side, we've got a pawn. We've got a pawn. This pawn is forward on the flank for Valis. Now remember, I literally just said, I was like, it could be worse for the flank to have the pawn. They've got more to do in the early stages. We'll see if that plays a role. But it does look like it's balanced. So game number 2. And we have Valis on the flank again. He went for a sneak earlier. Oh, that was really good micro, actually, there from Sito. And Sito and MBL on the same side again. Sito almost got defeated last time. They're working together with the early scouts. I'm guessing that it was communicated we cannot let this guy sneak again. So far, it doesn't seem like Sito or Valis are going to wall, so we might see some feudal age pressure here. Neither player is sending the villagers forward. Wow, this is interesting. Ganji is actually walling off his teammate. So I think they're expecting feudal age pressure, and they don't want that pressure to come hit Ganji. Especially because Ganji will probably want a little bit of time to go for the pond. Ganji is Celts. Celts are one of the best picks for this map. So this would all make sense. We don't want the Celts to be delayed. On the other side, we've got some walling from Sorakuma. We also will have some walling from Z40 pretty early on here, bringing 2 Vills forward as well. I wonder if this could mean a sneak. I would guess not, but it's always possible when you bring 2 Vills that you're going to leave one or, you know, maybe run in here. And wow, look at the wall from Barles as well. So he's walling behind himself. That's pretty cool, man. I love that. Like, he's not going for the forward walls at all. He says it's not worth it for us to lock down this space. It'll just get pushed. So it's less wall investment, less eco investment into it. It's pretty smart. But okay, chat, who do you think would be the least terrifying in an AoE 2 boxing tournament? The least. Someone says ACCM. Are you kidding me? The guy who never resigns and has more fight than arguably any other player? You think ACCM is going to go in there and not have the same level of fight? The Viper? Okay. A lot of people said Viper. Someone did say me, but I've got you on my list now, okay? You better watch out. John Slow, okay. Well, John Slow's pretty small in stature. And he also is slow. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. Someone says MBL. I don't know. I feel like all of us would suck. Like, none of us are that accustomed to getting punched in the face. And I don't think people realize just how jarring that is. And depending on the stakes... Okay, what's happening here, Z40? Careful. He obviously accidentally killed one of them with the TC. Don't lose a Vil. Yeah, depending on the stakes, I think people might get hit and tap out pretty quickly. So, okay, so that's 4 boars there from Z40. That's very well played. So that was probably why he brought 2 Vils forward. 1 to wall, 1 to get the boars. And here comes a Vil from Barles. His plan is probably to wall behind that. We do have Feudal Age on the way in now for Valis. We've got Sito drushing this side. Now, I don't think Valis knows that there's a drush here. I don't think he knows about the barracks at all. And he's about to find out, but it's a bit weird, right? Because you're waiting for the flag now. You don't know the units are chasing you. MBL's got the scout. Sito's got the scout. There's also a Vil. This could be really good for tag. Everything should be able to converge and fight here, right? I guess they're waiting. And they don't want those Vils to get through, so that's maybe paranoia from the previous game. Like, I'm doing the math here. 2 scouts, a militia, villager, against 1 scout, 3 Vils. I think that wall could have been denied, but maybe... they probably thought they could just get damage with this drush on the other player instead, and obviously they didn't know about that wall. Yeah, the fight would depend on the laming rules, because MBL would definitely lame if possible. And Drush is here. Valis has some work to do. Flank is the hardest to play on Black Forest, guys. Pockets get all the glory. But if you ever play this map, don't be that pocket who's like, complains about your flank, like your flank didn't have to wall and do everything else. Playing pocket is super chill. Oh, that is a weak Vil right there for Ganji. 1 more hit, and that villager's dead, and there's 3 boars on the way. Chat, you would never. I would never. I would get a new Vil. But here we go. And the crazy thing is I have no doubt in my mind that Ganji will kill these 3 boars just fine and keep the villager alive. I'll bet 20 subs on it. This is completely fine. 3 separate volleys under the 3 separate boars. Bam. Bam. And bam. Boars get brought in. Well played there from Ganji. Archers on this side for Barles. Again, you could tell by the early walls that there were some plans to potentially push the position. But then archers from Sorakuma and a defensive tower. Does Sorakuma see that that tower has been canceled? Does see it and is going to build it anyways, which is fine. Not the end of the world. Scouts super weak here for MBL and for Valis. They're both 1 shot away from going down. Valis loses his to the militia. But there's not much value that the scout would offer anyways. So guys, back to what I said earlier. If you have a flank player and a pawns, like this is a problem. Like you're not able to take full advantage of it. And not as easily anyway. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what the fish boom ends up looking like. A lot of work to do for the flanks here. And now full stone wall from Barles. I like that. Palisade walls can be pushed. Stone walls, that's more secure long term. I guess he didn't wall further forward because there could be army from Sorakuma. And also, then you'd have to wall this anyways. So this kind of accomplishes both choke points. Someone says, Memb would absolutely destroy T90. Dude, that is someone really trying to get this to happen if I've ever seen it. Right? You make me be like, no, he wouldn't. And then it's like, well, prove it, you know? Next thing you know, AoE2 boxing match. Casters in the ring. Oh, hello. Hello. This is something. That archer range might not accomplish much, though. Oh, man, it was spotted. It was right next to the lumber camp. And, I mean, Sorokuma should probably just cancel any of the production there. They've walled it in. The villager's kind of trapped in there, which is kind of funny. I think she'll end up dying. Sneaky, sneaky, dude. Sneaky, sneaky. I have no clue how that Vil got there. I've been attentive, man. There's chess boxing, so AoE2 boxing could be a thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not getting in the boxing ring. Guys, I need to keep whatever brain cells I have, you know? I really don't want to lose more. The fish boom is going for Ganji. Ganji's the key this game. But Madri's also the key. Madri's Spanish. I mean, this stack of Spanish and Celts is a massive one. I definitely prefer the civilizations more for the amigos here. There's a signal there from Sato. Now, do they see the walls at all? Okay, so they see these walls, so they know. Just wondering if Sato's saying... Sato's probably saying this is vulnerable. Re-wall that. Add more walls there. And we have a pause. So, pretty boomy one. From my perspective... Valis is just going to be as aggressive as humanly possible on this side because the Bengalis are going to out-boom otherwise. We might see Sato do the same. It feels like both of these two might go 1 TC all in against each other. But yeah, big boom here with TCs coming up here for Madri. This could have been way worse, so that's good that they found that. Also have some scouts being added for Madri, which is interesting. I think they expected a little bit more aggression here. I'm not sure if the scouts make a whole lot of sense from what I'm seeing right now. Obviously, it doesn't slow you down that massively to add them, but you'd want to be able to move freely with them. So, yeah, I think we'll see a castle from Valis and a castle from Sato, but I would choose Ratha over Gebeto, both with the cost, but also just with the way the units interact with each other. Actually, Gebeto might kill Ratha. Ratha need the blacksmith upgrades too. It's kind of tricky. But Valis has some fish. It's just not like a crazy fish boom. What's up, Brunger? Thanks for the 8 months. Apocalypsum says with the 31 months, his Facebook error was weird because they insisted on banning my account there all the time. Yeah, that was not a fun aspect of streaming there. Sato communicating in the game chat says Kuma fast imp. Player 3 late compared to Z40. So they're... You know, the communication aspect is definitely interesting with this team, right? Because you've got 2 Taiwanese players, you've got a Norwegian, you've got a Frenchman. I was actually curious on if they were even voiced together. They may be, but just like, you know, maybe not. They're obviously not going to be able to communicate quite in the same way. I don't know enough about Sorokuma and Z40's English. I think Sorokuma has slightly better English than Z40. From what I know. Because I watch a lot of streams, and I know Sorokuma's, like, English is welcome. Okay, stone walls now from Valis. Valis sees this. And Valis is probably saving this spot just for his own castle. Fast Imp would be sick on this. So that might be the thought process. Also, there is a snow leopard underneath the TC. Which I've maybe never seen before. So it's Z40 and Sorokuma communicating in their language. And then MBL and Sato communicating in English. Got it. Okay. Well, there's the castle. Big fish boom here from Ganji. You know what would be a sick opening from Ganji and Imp? Would be like Halb Seadram. I think Sato would have some big problems. But Sato's going to be up fast. This is a great fast Imp. No pond, no fish boom. So, but you're Bengalis, and you get the additional Vils, right? Super well played. Also inspecting the fish booms, seeing how invested they are into it. And like I said, my feeling as kind of a Black Forest noob, compared to these guys certainly, is I think if you've got a flank pond, it makes life extremely difficult. But it balances out in that could happen to either team. And in the previous game, it obviously happened for the Amigos. Now, Valis under some pressure here. I mean, he's not on the way to Imp. He's not anywhere close. There will be Trebs soon from Sito. This is a great position for Tag. Again, Madri's Scout Edition didn't offer any value. So they might have been expecting a little bit more to come from the enemy. And now a little bit of a breakthrough here for Sorokuma. This could be a decent siege position, maybe. I wouldn't mind a tower here and then a siege workshop. Because, like, you're up against a player who's Dravidians. They'd have to go for their own siege against that, but it could maybe be kind of tough for the Dravidians to defend there. Why didn't Ganji use the pond? What, you mean this pond? I think it's just the color of the water with this color that's confusing you, my friend. He's using that pond. He's using that pond big time. Not using the pond with Celts would be pretty horrible. But yeah, this is where Gray would be like, yeah, guys, I'm going to need help. Because I'm fast imping against a player who's already an imp, already going to be making trebs, and we're also going to have monks here, too. Yeah, I can't do chat on screen. What the? How did scouts get here? Did they run past the castle? I'm super confused. Did the castle do damage? I can't really tell what it did damage against. Anyways, scouts get through here. The only thing I can think of is that the scouts must have run past the castle. Unless they glitched through the trees or something. But okay, that's at least Madri's doing something with these scouts. But they're very weak. One Ratha could chase them down, and the problem remains the same. Trebuchets are on the way. Imp is also on the way for MBL now. Who is on this side. He's Ethiopians. Ethiopians probably would want to play bombard cannons. And, ooh, the scouts from Ganji combining with the scouts from Madri. Getting some nice value, but the Ratha's still there. And more walls now from Barles. So very defensive from him. I mean, Barles has got a really nice boom going compared to Sorokuma. So if he can just hold, Dravidians can be really good here. Siege Onager, faster firing skirms, elephant archers, bombard cannons. These walls are even going to extend behind the trees because they're worried about an onager cut. But yeah, sorry, no chat on screen. Is my chat less active right now because people don't feel as though their witty messages are seen by YouTube? Or just because of the relaxed nature of the cast? I feel like there's definitely been slightly less chatter because it's not on screen. There's a bug. It was a whole thing. I almost rage quit the stream because of patches with the game and patches with capture age and things not working. I hit a point where I was like, I don't like Black Forest this much. I'm about to go, you know, drink a margarita or something. Enjoy my weekend elsewhere. But we're here, guys. We did it. Our base saved the day. There's the castle from Ganji. Dude, Ganji's boom is absolutely ridiculous. Let's look at res collected. It's got to be highest, right? Crazy eco. And MBL and Z40 have had a sick boom, too. Here comes the castle from Z40. And more walls from Barles. Fortified wall coming in. And monks from Valis as well. Now, the armor that you get on the Bengali monks does not apply to their faith. They're not armored against other religions. They're just armored against military. So, monk v monk, it's anyone's game. Now, I don't know, like, do any of these civs get heresy? I think Bengalis do not get heresy. I know that because of, well, Phosphor. Thanks for that, Phosphor. But Malians, I'm not too sure on. Gonna try and check. They do. I don't know if it's worth it, but maybe it is. big defense here from the Amigos, because otherwise they'd be dead. I mean, Valis actually has a slightly better eco than Sito in terms of numbers. Arbalest from MBL. I don't hate that, especially when the opponent has monks. Siege Onager on the way for Ganji. Oh, man, but in the forward siege workshops. Why do I feel like that's risky here? I would like that research to be in one of these, but these were probably just added. If this gets to Siege Onager, though, Ganji might need some text so they don't just get converted, because the monks could still be a really big issue against the siege. Savar now on the way for Z40. Z40 Sorakuma hoping to break through over here. And Barles is still not imp, which is kind of crazy. Big micro over here from MBL. Good micro. He killed quite a few monks there. Loses a couple ARPs to conversions, but that's fine. Onagers are out! Onagers are out! Careful, Sito! This is Celt Siege. I actually think it's so smart for him to focus down the monks first. The monks are the biggest threat. If the monks are gone, the Arbalests are not a problem then. There's not as many monks for Sito, but he'll have more coming. And you only need one monk to land a conversion to be happy with the situation. Still hoping for conversions. Does get one of them. And should get two. That should be a delete. Yeah, I think that was a delete there. Unless we had, like, Heresy researched. I think... Yeah, Heresy's already in. Okay, so... Yeah, Ganji spent 1k gold on Heresy, so the Onagers won't turn around. And they're lacking some momentum here, Tag. The Onagers and the Halbs and the Monks are holding... At least for now. Remember, the eco's not very good for Sito, so no easy way to switch into something else and say goodbye, Trebuchets. Splat. Yeah, they've got a kill on this side. Like, Savar's already in. Oh, no, they're coming this way. Okay. Yeah, honestly, that makes sense. With how much Barles is walled, you're not going to get through. Barles extending as well so far. So, Savar coming to this side. Where, again, like... Halb Monk can still be good, but hard to keep the Halbs alive, too, when there's that many Ethiopian Arbs. Finally, we see the bombard cannons from MBL. I thought that's what he was going to open with. And that's really important here. Especially if he can get Torsen engines, he can take care of everything from distance. The Savars will dive. Kind of right in towards the Halb. Not the prettiest engagement. And now Paladins for Madri behind this. You got to keep in mind that teams are going to want to trade. And the trade for the Amigos would be from this corner to the western side. Or, sorry, eastern side. So that's just not really a great feeling right now to have to trade. Same deal. These players are thinking about trade, but it feels a little bit more likely that Tag can get away with that. So maybe they start their trade in a safer position. And are just happy with that. Now, you have to respect that Barles could have a pretty big push at some point. And he can just hit Z40 and hit Sorakuma. We haven't seen a lot from Sorakuma yet. I have no clue what Sorakuma's plan is, honestly. Sorakuma's Vietnamese, so there could be a lot of good options. Paladin, Siege Onager, Arbalest, everything thrown into the meat grinder. We've got monks. We've got Halbs. What haven't I mentioned yet? We've got bombard cannons. It's a lot of Siege Onagers, though. I'm kind of worried about Sito, because Sito offers nothing to the team now. That Heresy's in, and that the monk number isn't high. Bit of a score flip there. To anyone who's confused on the castles, this is on the old patch. You heard it here first. Black Forest players hate change. I mean, that might be true, but I'm kidding. That's just, they have to do it for tournament consistency. Some people miss the new stuff already. Castle will fall down. AoE players hate change. Yeah, okay, well that's probably fair in some ways as well. No, honestly, this new patch has been one of the best patches in a very long time. I've loved virtually everything on the new patch except for the pathing, dude. The pathing's not better. I'm sorry. I know they said the words. It's worse in some ways, in my opinion, and that's a tale as old as time. Oh, man. Big push. Siege Onagers flatten so quickly. And it's just so tough for these Paladins and these Arbalests to engage. Even Ganji's comp alone kind of locks it down. Halbs and Siege Onagers. Look at that. Savar is disappearing. Savar is getting flattened. And then the Arbalest can't be anywhere near. Oh, what is happening to Tag? Will there be a push at least from Sorakuma? Sorakuma's going to try. It feels like Barles is maybe prepared, though. And the favorites in this tournament, the Amigos, looking for their second victory here. I would say they're the slight favorite. Again, we talked about this at the start of stream. Gamer Legion of best players in the world. They're going to be the favorite in any team game tournament. Stepping into Black Forest is a bit different, but they're the other team that will be waiting in the finals. So I think, like, people are underestimating GL a little bit because those players are all insane, and also they've been playing a lot of Black Forest. Remember, the trade is right here. So they are not set up to be okay if they lose more ground here. So that's bad. That is really, really bad. And now the trade will expand to the further distances here for the Amigos because they know they're most likely fine. Especially with Barles over here now, and Barles is getting snipes here on Sorakuma, sorry. This might just be over, guys. This might just be over. And someone in chat says GL is the favorite team by far. I think by far is really forgetting how insanely good the Amigos are, dude. I think by far on either side of the spectrum, more extreme than I would word it. But yeah, anyone who disrespects either team probably just don't know what they're talking about. If the Amigos win this semifinal, I'm hoping it's really competitive versus those teams. But what a turnaround here from the Amigos. They had such a tough start on this left-hand side. And it could have been awkward on the right. But Ganji, just an absolute maniac. His boom was perfect. And then the monks from Valis have always been there. And it must feel like you had a good position here if you were tagged. You won the fast imp war, or so it felt. And you're just like, what could we have done differently here? I don't even think the light cab will kill any monks there. Maybe one or two. And now Barles will actually push, guys. 160 eco for him. 35 trade cards. Barles with siege elephants, halbs, bombard cannons. He'll bust down these walls, be into the other side pretty soon. Celts and Spanish are the top two picks. Or two of the top pick, rather, for the Amigos team. So had they lost this, it would have been pretty painful, but yeah, they've used it perfectly here. And the amount of gold they're getting per trip is ridiculous with the Spanish trade bonus, so it doesn't get much better for Tag with that gold income coming in. This castle was denied and then destroyed, so a lot of stone loss there. And yeah, I think Tag is dead. I think they have to be. Unless progress is made here. I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything. They just keep trying to send everything they can here. And whatever they have is just simply not enough. Against the siege onagers and the monks and the paladins and the towers now. And their trade is right here. Should Tag have had better trade with Persians and Bengalis? Yeah, I mean, maybe long-term, Persians and Bengalis have potential for good trade. If there's one thing that I've learned about Black Forest, it's that you can't rely on Paladin as consistently in team games. Halb Onager is so good in choke points, and mobility for the Paladins don't matter as much, right? They don't have they didn't have any Halp here for quite some time. And they certainly didn't have any Onager. And I think maybe that's what they needed. Again, Paladins are into that trade. All the trade hasn't really been killed yet. MBL, maybe their last chance to hold. There's bomber cannons there. But yeah, you're going to lose them. And the game is called. And this will be 2-0 for the Amigos. What went wrong here, chat? What did Tag need to do? I've got a theory. And this is not worded in a way where the opponent made a massive mistake. I'm not saying anyone threw. I'm not saying anyone's a noob. But Arbalest didn't do crap on this side. It didn't do anything. What I would have wanted to see is I would have wanted to see Hal Bombard Cannon or Hal Boninger. That's what I would have wanted to see. Sato, obviously, like, you can pretty much only make monks for a while. That's the same with Valis. So they were pretty much in the same position. But Arb was an expensive investment that didn't really pan out, but it's tough. Also, are these... you know it's a good game for you when you don't realize 8 of your paladins are trapped there. That's kind of funny. But yeah, Arbalest just didn't get the job done. It's just so tough against Celts. The other thing I'll say is they could have... Well, I say they could have pushed Barrows, but they couldn't push Barrows. Like, Barrows, if he didn't wall like this, he dies to Savar and he dies to Skirm from Sorakuma because Madri's on the other side. So it was just amazing prep from Amigos so they could decide when to take the fights and where to take the fights. It was super good. Really well played. And just to be expected. I don't know why there's so many dots here. What's going on? Oh, it says it's best of 9. Got it. Okay, so one more win away from the Amigos from winning the game. Look at the KD here, man. Like, Savar did nothing. It went Savar, and it didn't even matter. Also, even just like the KD for Sato. A little unfair, but look at the difference in conversions, too. 31 conversions for Sato, 70 from Valis. So Valis is just simply the better monk player, and he ended up having a ridiculous economy. So GG scores 2-0. All right, so we've got some Desert Forest action, and we have a crazy flank position on this side. So we've got Ganji going flank as the Aztecs, directly next to Sorakuma as the Byzantines. And they both have a pond, so they're both going to want this, and this might be a pause to discuss the fairness of the pawns. But the famous Black Forest pastime, are the pawns even? Okay, so for Sorakuma, we've got 1. Then for Sato, there's 2. Now, there's only 2 shorefish here. I think that might be against the rules. They're pondering on the situation now. Then we've got 1 here for Valis. And then we've got 1 here for Ganji. So the amount of pawns is even, but there's only 2 shorefish here. But the signal was here from Madri. Sato says, my lake is asking for a re. Sato says, no re. Yes, 14. No re. So admin says no. Okay. All right. Again, I don't know the rules. I just assumed. Okay, so no re. Well, I think this is going to be really awkward for Tag then. Because not only is it 2 shorefish here, but you also have the fact that it's flank. So you could be pressured. Whereas this pond, extremely safe for whoever wants to use it here for the Amigos. Obviously, in the previous game, there was a flank pond for Valis, and they got the job done. By the way, the colors have changed because to choose positions, you have to choose color. Man, I really hope they change that someday. I think, like, fixed positions is needed for the game. I love that we have it now. But I think it shouldn't be attached to color. It should be a separate option. You shouldn't, in my opinion, be able to know where people are positioned in the lobby or just by knowing someone's color. It's also very confusing for casting, but anyways, I'll get off my soapbox and try and make sense of what's happening here. Ganji seems really comfortable in the Vil War. We might even see more villagers come forward here, and that was a failed lane from Sorakuma. Sorakuma tried to kill that elephant and wasn't able to make it happen. Oh man, Barles has extended his walls forward. And now this pond is accessible. So now he can always dock this pond, which means Sito really can't use it. High King says Ganji got spawned really far forward, by the way. You mean from his team? Yeah, that is true. Is that good or bad for the team? It would depend, right? Obviously, if this was like a random game and there wasn't a lot of coordination, it could be very easy to think this is bad if you're Ganji. Like, oh my god, my team can't help me now. But no, Ganji is the barrier that protects the others now. So that could be really good. I think if Ganji is going to go aggressive, then this is perfect. And obviously, you know, the Dark Age was pretty crazy here. How many Vills did Sorakuma lose? I need to toggle to that because Sorakuma's Vill count is not looking good right now. Sorakuma, Eco KD, lost 1 Vill, but Sorakuma is down 4 Vills because he pulled so many Vills at the wrong time and couldn't keep the TC running. That's really, really bad. And unfortunately, that's just part of it. That's part of the Vill rushing, is you have to also balance your eco perfectly. So, 14 eco versus 10 on this right-hand side. And this pond is potentially going to be pushed. I think that's the big game plan. Super Skinny says, how isn't that a re? Tags pawns are terrible again. This has to be a re because of the pawns. I personally think that if you're going to talk about balancing pawns, you do need to look at more specific things. I agree with you. But yeah, I don't know what the rules are. Like, this is sick. Like, now Valis has a safe pond. He can free Fish Boom, and then the other pawns are super exposed. So, considering the scoreline, I think this is a great setup for Amigos to get the sweep, dude. But again, guys, like, in the previous game, the pawn situation was really bad for Valis, and he made it work anyways. And this has all been discussed from, like, a lot of these players. It's not like it's just one dude making the decision who doesn't know what he's talking about, so. Yeah, you have to assume that they've discussed. Because you don't want to, like, completely eliminate variance, too. That's where it gets tricky. But this is what I think would be the best play. You have fast feudal from both planks. There's the fast feudal for Barles. Barles just simply comes through and docks this to try and contest this pond. Ganji could go fast feudal, or you could go fast castle, either one. I think that going like monk siege here would be half decent, because you can convert boats and all that if you need to. It doesn't have to be feudal age pressure, but basically you just go heavy aggro. Nice job from Ganji, bringing in these elephants from long distances. And gets the food, so that'll be fast castle. And obviously you have the flanks, boom. Ganji isn't even taking his pawns. Madri's just going to use it himself. So Valis and Madri are going to have a sick position here. Flaming Sedai says this game needs to have variance, even if it's unfair. Otherwise, we might as well be playing Dota or League of Legends. No, I agree with you. I agree. The idea, though, is like variance, but balanced variance is what you want. And my feeling is that there can always be some tweaks and improvement there. Ooh. Hello. That villager is walled. And that villager is probably to kill this fish boom. That would be my guess. Keep in mind, Sorakuma has not docked as well here, so won't have any fish there in the first place. Now that villager could also go for archers. Also, Sito just lost a villager to a crocodile. Through the corner. The crocodiles be doing that sometimes. They attack through corners. So, got the quick wall down, but I think the villager was still getting hit there. And I'm going to show it to you because, I mean, he got the walls, and then the villager just dies anyway. Oh, poor Sato. He's getting tower rushed. He wasn't sneaking either. He was trying to wall up here. But that's not going to happen. Scouts through. No loom for Sato still. Lost a villager there. And now there's archers coming. And sorry for the speed up here. We're catching up to live time. But this is brutal. Here's the dock, though. So Madri will find this. Now we have another pause. And it is a tower rush. At least for the start here from Ganji. I mean, Sorakuma, though... It's really tough to do everything here. It's not very easy to defend from this and also push this at the same time. You kind of have to commit. But I like the stable here from Z40. He's Khmer, already on the way to Castle Age, and knows that army is going to be needed here. That's a really good call. If you just boom here, there are massive problems. Sato is Portuguese, so I'm sure his long-term plan was probably to get a castle up. And that's probably one of the big reasons why Barles is pushing so heavily. And archers actually can't get through because he broke through the shoreline and just docked it. So that's kind of a small mistake there from Barles. So that's annoying, but he will get the dock up. So the fish for Sato is kind of a non-factor here, I would say. And there's the signal. I think Madri just has to give up the pond. You give up the pond and you say, all right, well, he invested double dock to kill my fish. Ganji, go kill him now. And Ganji forward docks, initially thinking Sorakuma would be fishing here. There's nothing there, and he's just going to fish himself. Which is so funny. And then he actually backs away. Did they notice this? Honestly, the Amigos are good enough where they probably sense that the Khmer player will add something here. The absolute best play for Ganji is to just simply not continue to push any longer and now stonewall, and that's what he's doing. And so, yep, Madri will just give up the fish. That villager's still there, by the way. So I don't know exactly where she's going, but she's on the move. There's a signal from MBL. I think MBL's probably like, be careful, because MBL's over here just booming. And again, the fish are going down for Sato. He only ever had 2 anyways. So at least he didn't plan for it. And Sato is on the way to Castle Age. Hasn't lost a lot, at least after the initial tough time. And will get a castle. That castle is guaranteed. I think forward stonewalls from Barles is the right play. There's a villager here from Valis. This might be a siege push. There's also a villager here from Madri. So Madri might go for a siege push. Where did that Vil go? She died. She's dead. Madri found it with a scout. That's really good find. And now we have a dock from Sorakuma. Double dock from Sorakuma here as well. To kill Ganji's 1 fishing ship. So Sorakuma's gone for 4 docks. That's a big investment into docks. But is Byzantines. I mean, that's kind of part of what you'd probably want. Oh, man. Tell me Sato sees the siege workshop. He does. Okay, so this is a good castle. I think you need castle here because... Actually, I'm not fully in love with this because I'm not sure it protects all your wood. But it's Black Forest, so you can just move your wood line. That's fine. Thank you, Nano, for the 34 months. He says, high expectations for Desert Forest and Desert Oasis Ponds. Yes. That's how it goes, man. I mean, the level gets higher. Players get better. And the expectations for the map scripts improve. Everything improves. I would have felt a little frustrated with the situation if I were Tag. But that's on the back of being down 2 games already. Obviously, you can shrug it off if you're not on the brink of being knocked out here. Siege Workshop from Z40. So, I assume they maybe thought that this wasn't fully stonewalled. I don't know how much scouting they had. But they're going to try a push against Ganji. Ganji not doing too much on water. Ganji still not in Castle Age. Ganji will have to add more walls. These walls will go down very fast if they're feudal age walls. And now is the siege workshop for Madri, but he was quite late with that. That villager's been hanging around for a while. Very weak villager too, by the way. Ego says, has a tie ever been called in AoE 2? I once did rock, paper, scissors to decide a 1v1 game. Does that count? The game was already gone on for long enough, and I really just didn't want to spend another 3 hours in the game. I'm really glad you brought it up, because I'm on the old patch, and I think I still have the recorded game. Maybe I can record that for YouTube later, but... It was just such a stalemate-y game, dude. It was like, mega random, all the gold is gone, Teutons versus Burmese. Just like Halb v Halb v Halb. It was such a grind. I think there were like very few relics on the map as well. Nice walling here from Ganji. In all fairness, I thought I was losing that game, and so I jokingly asked for rock, paper, scissors, and he said yes. And then we did it. So we said the time in game that we would type rock, paper, or scissors. And we did best of 3. And then after, you know, the rock, paper, scissors, the loser resigned. And I'm very proud of my IRL rock, paper, scissor game, but I unfortunately lost the Age of Empires rock, paper, scissors. All the teamwork from Ganji, the teamwork, the repairs. The walls were clutch. The repairs on his teammates Mangonel. And these Scorpions, which outranged Mangonel's, just didn't have enough. And so this army, all of this army is being kept out right now. There are organ guns from Sato. He'll start to try and apply some pressure against the siege workshop, make some progress to get in over towards Barles, who's in an awkward Civ matchup in Castle Age. You'd have to make siege pretty much against the opponent's organs. And he might need some of his own because Valis' siege workshop is going down. It's been a very complicated game. Like, just straight fish booming isn't exactly what this has been for Valis, because he has had to do some other aspects of this game. Added stone walls here. Added the siege, but is Japanese, and it's the best fish booming civ in the game, in my opinion. Some people might say Malay. Where is Sorakuma's Sneakville? It died a long time ago. It died to the scout. Been a lot happening, so easy to overlook that. Right, the correct play now from Tag, I mean, you're not breaking through with your army. You need to stonewall so they can't just delete their walls and run into your base whenever they want. So, I like the decision now. And Ganji is imping. Not going to Castle Age, he's in Castle Age. He is imping and making at least one monk. So this is definitely going to be like Castle, monks, trebs. Super low eco play from Ganji, though. Has slowed Madri down. Madri would have had a significantly better boom if he didn't lose the fish. But it's probably not worth trying to add the fish now. He's 4 TCs. This will probably be for Paladin. Let's not forget about MBL down here. But what's MBL's plan? He has a siege workshop, and now we have a Krepos. So I think this is actually Onager cut and Conics for MBL. He might try and just get cut through the wood and go raid. But he can't forget about his flank because his flank's going to be getting pushed. Sato thinking about another castle. Needs to be careful on where this is placed. Honestly, Barles should delete the lumber camp, so Sato places it right there. Bait Sato into placing a castle too forward. That would be kind of funny. I mean, they know. I think they saw the vills. And he's clearly trying to clear out some space here. And there's the castle. It's a little bit risky, but you have to take these risks at this stage. And, oh! I mean, if the shot was a little bit faster there, Valis could have destroyed the castle foundation. But it seems like the castle, for now, could go up. That's a really nice shot there from Sato. Sato's not imping, though. Barles thinking about that. Barles is already dropping a castle here, and the resources should be rising for Imperial Age. That is the Imp TC for Sorakuma. No. I mean, it's the only TC he has. Sorakuma, please realize this. Sorakuma has done such a good job to recover. Had such a difficult game so far. Okay, Sorakuma realizes because there's repairs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Quick wall's needed. Quick wall's not there. Trebuchet could be sniped. That's huge for tag. That Treb should go down. And that maybe saves Sorakuma. He was not repairing with much. And I think Ganji will be frustrated because his job is Treb and Monk, and he didn't get the walls down. He's usually so good at that. But he has kept the opponent open, and now there's Cav coming from Madri. Is Sato anywhere close to Imp? No, he's not. That's really bad. That's really bad because he will lose this castle. Now he's trying to break through here because his army's kind of hit a wall. I mean, literally hit a wall. But now it's hitting a wall on this side. I don't think this will make too much progress, honestly. Imp comes in for Sorakuma. He knew he'd lose the TC, just needed to make it to Imp first. And just like we saw before, like Aztec monks have more HP, but that doesn't help in Monk v Monk. So it's completely fine to go monks against Aztecs with your own monks if you have good ones. I thought MBL was going to Onager cut. He is. He's Onager cutting here. Does do the amigos see this? If they do see it, they'd only be able to see it right now. And MBL's got Conics. This could work really well, guys. There's not, like, a stone wall behind. So this honestly should go right into Madri's eco, in my opinion. And it's possible... Oh, there's the quick walling from Ganji. But it's possible with the proper conversions that Sorakuma can hold here. Cavalier are dangerous, though. And I don't think Sorakuma's a crazy monk player like some of the amigos are. Here go the Conics. Will this be spotted? Will Madri drop some walls? A couple gates and he keeps the Conics out. Without the walls, amigos might lose this game. Still no reaction. Still not noticing it. They're probably all looking here because they're winning the fight. Also, hello, Aztec Draman. A Draman was made by Sorakuma and then converted. And he converts another one! Aztec Draman's OP... Oh my god, and the quick wall came in the last second. You're kidding me. Madri noticed. Oh, the gate's open. I think. Is it locked now? It's locked. Oh, that's so sick, actually. I just assumed that army was going to go in. More Conics are headed this way. They won't get the walls down here, but Valis will have Cav Archers to maybe help. Or maybe even Halbs. And these Dramans are massive, dude. Oh, that's so painful. What a clutch job from Ganji to continue this push. Or just to start the push, you know? Because Sato's going to lose this castle. Sato's army's been useless this whole time. Like, he has not been able to make any progress. Some of the Conics maybe made it into the back of Madri's eco. Madri needs to deal with that. The rest of the Conics are still looping through. Valis will need to deal with that, but they will deal with it. And... I mean, MBL needs to eventually take the main engagement. Wait a second. Did the... Okay, the Dramans got converted back. So they're orange again. Just as they belong. And now they're taking down that castle. That's hilarious. When will they learn? How is Sato supposed to be able to survive on his own, though? Against a fully boomed Barls with 9-range hand cannons and bombard cannons. It's going to be tough, dude. It's going to be tough. Look how many Conics Ganji has. It's hilarious. Paladin isn't on the way for Madri. If he wasn't rated like that, I'm sure he would have gotten that. But that did do damage. And MBL does have Elite Conic. So Elite Conic's way better than Paladin. Or, sorry, way better than Cavalier. Look at the difference in how fast the monks are targeting. Ganji's honestly maybe top 2 in the world with this. I might put him at number 1. And these Dramans may get converted back yet again. But we've got Ballista Elephants from Z40. Which is honestly slightly risky against monks, but who cares? You're down big time, and you need to get some damage done because you can't wait around much longer before this just gets significantly worse. This wall's about to go down. These are cav archers that will probably soon be on full upgrades. I think bloodlines is the only thing missing, and I assume husbandry. And then there's the hand cannons. The hand cannons have 9 range. MBL's on the other side. MBL can't help because he has to fight this side. But maybe he can help Sato now. Yeah, here he is. That's a good shift from MBL. The right side, he's not really needed anymore. And because the ballista elephants are there. And they are making some progress here, too. I think they're clearly waiting for Paladin for Madri before taking any engagements. Conversions are the most important thing for Sorokuma. If he converts all those paladins, it could be a turnaround for them. They're definitely not going to win the left side. The way this is going, they're going to lose it fast. So they need to kill the right side. It's going to be tough. Towers from Valis. I love that. I love how Valis is contributing with that when he's still fully focused on the left. That's not easy to do. He also sent Halbs over this way. He's not producing them anymore, but he's ready if he needs to. I mean, Sato does not have a good economy compared to the 2 players he's up against. And MBL's Conics are here to save the day. Maybe a bit of a surprise to see this. The Conics could collapse around this. They could maybe deny the castle. They could maybe snipe the Trebs. This could be a good engagement for MBL. Honestly, it's not terrible. They'll kill a lot here, especially the siege. And if you take out the siege, they can at least hold this position. And then over here, progress is being made by Tag. The score is getting closer. The population's getting closer. MBL denies the castle. The tower gets taken out by the bomber cannons from Sato. And Tag are holding. Also, a nice little relic heist here from Sorokuma. I think they need, I mean, what do you do against elite ballistas? Elite ballistas are so busted with the ballistics upgrade. You need, like, your own onager, and they really lack that. Aztecs could do that with better economy, but... Can Tag actually turn this into a bit of a push on the left now? Or did they simply just stabilize? Ooh, okay, I think Valis is saying we could raid through here. Oh, and there's paladins there? Yeah. They're definitely thinking about that. That's a lot of paladins from Madri headed over. Big fight on the right. I can't wait to look at the end and see how many conversions Ganji's gotten. Sorokuma's done a really nice job with that himself. Bit of a pushback with these monks, with these paladins. Big army of paladins on the way. It's taken some time, dude. It's taken almost too much time. They need siege to push this gate. It's only 1 layer of wall, and that's very hard to wall behind for Sato. Nice shot from Tag. Considering the circumstances in this game, like... The pond controversy? Potential controversy? I mean, MBL's cut was sick. I think it slowed down Madri. MBL saving Sato here. MBL's had a great game. And now docks from Sato. Makes sense. You can use this pond yourself. Make some cannon galleons like Gray tried to do. Look at how forward these golds are for Sato as well. I don't know if this game could have been more difficult. Didn't he also lose a vill in Dark Age as well? So he lost his fish. He lost the vill. It's sick that he's at 84 eco right now. That is a lot of keeps. And these are Japanese keeps as well with Yasama, so extra arrows. Paladins are on the left side now with the Cav Archers. You can tell that the Amigos think they're just going to win this fight because the Vills ran immediately forward to build a tower. They didn't win it that clearly. We'll see if MBL can get more over here. I think MBL's main issue is he's producing out of the Krepos, so they're all over on the right side. He does have a couple on the left. I think a switch to Kama would make sense here, right? For Barles, maybe? We'll see if he considers that. Ballista elephants getting converted. And then getting converted back, which explains why Sorakuma has some. And the Trebs from Sorakuma need to just focus down these towers. It's really difficult for Madri to cut, because he doesn't get Onager himself. So he would need Ganji to do that. He is camping this pond with his own Dramans, just in case progress is made. By tag, they'll have that trade protected somewhat. Ballista elephants take out one Onager. But a couple big Onager shots could be needed. And MBL pushing back. Oh my god. That's crazy, man. Okay, Imp Camel's on the way now from Barles. I was just going to say, they're up against Skirm. They're up against Cav. Camel's the perfect play here, and they have the Hindustanis. So the switch is coming. Now, if Sito can mix in heavy gunpowder, that could be fine then. But he needs to get there. Keeping an eye on trade. It's not crazy for anybody here. But 36 trade for Madri is obviously the top. And it's flowing very nicely as well. Am I crazy, or is even the spacing for the trade way better for the Amigos? Like, they can go to the edge of the map on both sides, and Tag cannot. Well, yeah, like, Tag can't over here. Yes, you're crazy, but not because of this? Okay. Well, thanks. I mean, how many Imp Camels completely changed this? Maybe like 20? But there are walls now. Imp Camels can't deal with walls. Nice play from Sito. And Tag making some moves. Making some big money moves here. This is some progress, guys. I'm really impressed with how Tag has managed this. Felt like all the odds were stacked against them at various points. And the Amigos are so good. But it's stabilized a little bit here. Making the Amigos earn that spot in the final. Look how little space Ganji has in his original base here. He has relocated most of his eco back here. Huns just hit a wall where there's not much more you can offer to the team. And they've officially hit that wall. You're stuck on Paladin, basically. Against Byzantine Halbs, against Ballista Elephants. It's not going to be easy. I'm worried for Sito. I think Sito needs high-value ranged units that are good against everything. Basically gunpowder, or maybe even Arbalest. But he doesn't really have the res for that. And the trade setup is so bad, dude. I'm realizing this now. So it's 91 gold per trip versus 123 gold per trip. And then also, Barles added the Caravanserai in the trade to make all the trade faster, too. So the trade is so much better for the Amigos. That's sick that he added that. It takes time and effort. And he's been pretty active here on the front. Okay, this was slightly open to run around that pond. Still lots of walls here for Sito. Feels like Sorakuma and Z40 are the key here. They need to push through. They need to break down all these buildings. What can Ganji offer as well, guys? Is Monks the only play? I see Onagers again. Siege Onager would be good. I guess you have to get to SO. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You know what's crazy is MBL built a crep post here. Huh? Huh? Oh, dude, can you imagine if that was a misclick? If that's me, I misclick and I don't hit the right tree and then it doesn't open up. I don't know if MBL will notice this. The CA can run through and right into the trade. Big blob of armies here. Progress still being made by Tag on this side. Tag has the lead right now, guys, I would say. Despite everything we've talked about. The towers are going down. The ballistas are cutting through. There are Dramans here to hold, though. There will be Onagers. I don't think they'll lose that much more ground. The elephants are really stacking. The Cav Archers aren't moving now because of the big fight on the left. But that's not the trade route. The trade route's a little bit further. If those CA just stand there, that will be such a heavy loss of gold income for Tag. Even more walls from Ganji. Siege Onager is on the way. Fortified wall is on the way. And I thought Imp Camel was going to change a lot here. But they just stopped making camels on this side, didn't they? Because they were running into walls. Valis, he forgot about the CA, dude. No one seems to be noticing this because they're so focused elsewhere. Here go the Ballistas. Ballistas could just chop the trees. Ganji with more walls now. And the Onagers were over here, guys. The Onagers were not ready to be produced over here. So he's got a wall at all. Honestly, he's done a sick job. But now needs siege workshops in this position. Maybe a castle or two in this position. Need a lot more than what you have right now. And MBL had a little bit of time to notice the CA. So I think the CA will get killed off. The cut will not do much. There could be more, though, with Paladins. I'm seeing some units go through there. And the Ballista Elephants are through. Ganji needs an SO shot or two. I think he's housed, guys. I don't think he's pop-capped. I think he's just super badly housed because all of his base is getting trapped. So he can't make siege onagers, which is crazy. I don't know where his eco is right now. But yeah, look at the panic houses. Houses. I don't know how badly he's housed. It's pretty... Okay, he has some production here. And Z40 says, ask. Ask and ye shall receive. Oh, the siege onagers right next to the ballistas. That's horrible. Amigos are going to lose their trade. Siege workshops are going to get converted. Let's go, dude. Let's go, Tag. This is sick. Oh, there's a lot of armies still stuck here that could run right into this trade, though. So tough to realize. Look at Ganji sending the pipe. I mean, Ganji does still have siege onagers that can meet these ballistas. But their trade route has been hit. They've relocated markets, so they're not losing as much trade. Really good play. And Imp Camels have met MBL in the middle. Sato can't make progress here because he's up against Cannon Galleons. And a big army is coming through and could get into Tag's trade now. Look at these ballistas go. 110 kills on these 44 units. And oh, dude! He found the trade. He found the trade. That was sick. These units are insane. I think right now, like, you need to kill the opposing team's trade as well if you're the Amigos. And then it's a tradeless game, but you need to be here. Honestly, if Valis would have done it earlier, who knows what would have happened. They can't kill these ballistas, guys. They can't. And, oh, man. They're feasting. It's so annoying for Ganji because he kept making SO, but they were never in the right spot. Well, say goodbye to the trade. Say goodbye. MBL held, by the way. Sato held the middle. No progress has been made. I think this is Tag's game. We are not finished. Z40 and Sorakuma on the right-hand side, playing like gods, dude. And then MBL and Sato doing what they have to do to stay alive, keep the team alive, so the others can carry. Look how many trade carts have gone down. Look at all the military that's had to go the complete wrong direction. And look at all the space that has been lost to this push. 25k damage dealt from these trebs. The dock's been lost. The barracks, the houses, this area of trade, like they're just simply everywhere. I mean, if the Amigos can bring this back now, that'd be really impressive. Because they're still losing ground. They do have trade, but it's way worse than before. And it should be less efficient than Tag's. I think that MBL needs to re-wall this. He is going to actually push through the opening now, so I guess that's fine. But I think a gate and some walls there, just so that doesn't come back to haunt you, would be good. And yeah, they need to push back this left-hand side with the cannons. And Sato has gold for it now. Also has 85 halbs. Docks being taken down. The towers will be taken down. I want to show military mini-map right now to show you where all the military is. It's all back here for Team Amigos. It's not where it needs to be. But they had to stop that death push of elephants, and now there's another one here. I mean, finally, Ganji's gotten up to enough SO. So they could actually just take care of these elephants in one swing. So that's their chance. And MBL and Sato will start to make progress on the left side. Towers are going to get one shot. As will the castles. As will everything else if they don't have an answer for this. Ganji does have 85 trade. I think that's fine when you have 47 vills and you're only making siege onagers. That's not an overboom in my opinion. His contribution to the team is like high impact unit. He can't really make a normal unit. Like going eagles here would be horrible. So just SO and the occasional monks. I think that eco balance is fine. Every tag player is almost fully popped here. Let's see if they can finish them. There's still a lot of potential for the paladins, the siege onagers, and the imp camels. And some of this land has been reclaimed. It has now been re-walled by Ganji as well. The siege onagers are here. One will get converted. The other one will land some hits. You gotta be careful with those siege onagers, dude. You gotta be careful. That's a lot more siege onagers than we've seen. I think actually the left side is the most vulnerable area right now for the Amigos, and we have a pause. This is as tactical a pause as I've ever seen, but there could be a cat and a keyboard. But Amigos are like, no. We're not finished yet either. But like, what was successful against the siege onagers before was the monks. So that gets a bit tricky once you've stopped producing them. I think if anything, Sorakuma needs forward monasteries.
Yes.
I wonder if it's possible for Sorakuma to get into Cataphract. I think if Sorakuma could have slightly improved economy, getting to elite Cataphract could be the goal. That wasn't too bad for Z40. The ballistas, some of them died, but still the position's held. We do have some lag right now. Yeah, this is... I mean, they're into the trade right here as well, if this isn't stopped. What can Valis make right now? Cav archers, I guess. I don't know where the production is. I'm not seeing many ranges around. I think that production is mainly up in his base. Dang. I'm liking the ratios of trade for tag. Like, they haven't over trade boomed, which allows them to have so much military constantly. And that's been the key. I mean, they have 250 military against 130. Great job from Sorakuma. Unfortunately, the Trebs go down, but still converted the SO and always has Halbs in front. What does 3 mean? Food, please. So, Madri's running out of food. Only 27 on food. And needs food from teammates. It's funny how they'll be on voice together and they'll just type. They'll type it in the chat. A lot of teams do that. This might be over. Be a sick comeback story from Tag if Tag could win this series now. Because Amigos, again, are seen as one of the favorites. Coming into it, it was Amigos and Gamer Legion. Gamer Legion already in the final. But, dude, Ballista Elephants are so busted, dude. They're so freaking strong. Tell me what counters them. Because if your answer is Onager, I think this has been a pretty clear game that's not necessarily that clear. Oh, man. I mean, again... Sorakuma's monks are always there, though, to help with the siege onagers. Look at this base now, or what's left of a base. There's barely a base anymore now for Barles. Sato had such a rough start. And he pushes deep into Barles' economy now. Markets deleted to the trade get relocated again. We'll probably see new markets go up in a safer position. There they are. Oh. So, CA went through the middle. There was a rewall from MBL, it seems. But that got chopped through. But MBL notices this. That's fine. As long as you notice it right away, if anything, that could be seen as helpful because you just get a big spike of military. It's a nice attempt. It might be too little too late here. And Ganji just still able to hold this position, but pushing back seems so unlikely. And MBL notices this. I would say maybe add more walls or some crepos in your trade if you're MBL, but they've dealt with it while still pushing on the left-hand side. I think the Amigos hit a little bit of a wall in terms of their comp this game. They were unsure what to make at times. And they weren't able to finish the job when they had the lead. Like on the left. What MBL and Sato did on the left to stay alive while Sorakuma and Z40 were pushing here was insane. There's the onagers. Oh, there's some juicy shots finally. Yeah, a lot of ballistas will go down. There will be more ballistas right behind it, though. Paladins will come this way from Madri. Madri pretty much hasn't been fighting on the other side because the Paladins die so fast to the ballistas. Okay. They're actually kind of clearing this, guys. Military count's gotten a lot closer. Eco count's still similar. They need to take care of that bombard tower. But we still have a game here. 650 pop for Amigos, 700 pop for Tag. I think Tag needs to just shift right back to where they were before and push through this again. With some rams or something. Part of the issue now with getting the unit numbers up is just production. Like, when you're so close to the opponent's base, they're always going to have reinforcements faster than you. And so you need to just build forward buildings, which we're seeing now from Sato, for example. Yeah, if you caught Ganji had idols, it's because they relocated trade, right? So all their trade stopped because markets got deleted. And now I'm sure the trade is tasked again. You can see Madri tasking the trade. Still, though, like Caravanserai increasing the trade speed. And then the fact that they can trade from one edge of the map to the other means their trade is significantly better. It's like 20 or 30% better. You would have to onager cut to the edge of the map on this side. If you're Tag, which feels like it's too much to do with everything else. The Cav Archers are here from Valis. Is this turning around? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But, I mean, this is a crazy game, dude. Saying that, MBL over on the right side, those snipes all the SO. There were like 12 siege onagers there. It's all gone now. The army count's so low all of a sudden for the Amigos. And that army's still over 200 count for Tag. If I'm MBL, I'm buying stone to place Krepos in forward positions because that's the only thing holding him back. The fact he has to produce from these Krepos that are just split up all over the map. If he could have like 5 on each side, that would be so sick. Same with Z40 and castles, but Z40's only fighting on the right side, so that's fine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, I think Tag is going to win now. Because Ganji's siege onager mass took a long time to build up. It was only a threat once he got to like 10 or 12 of them. The trade is right here again. And look at the amount of bombard towers coming forward from Sorakuma now. Yeah, I'm sure stone is super expensive. And no one's really floating a lot of gold, so... That's more of a suggestion for if you're floating the res. Yep, Madri asking for gold. Bombard towers with Byzantines are so tough to take out. The Trebs are here. Ganji will try to snipe them with his onager. This is the trade route yet again. Halbs get clicked in there to take the SO. The ballistas are still so tanky, dude. It's so tanky. It's insane. Surely this is it. Sato's still holding on the left-hand side. Everything's fine there. MBL's not needed. I'm sure there's going to be more conics coming this way from MBL. And the trade count is just getting destroyed here. I mean, normally one trade raid can end the game. The Amigos got hit 4 or 5 times and kept fighting and rebounding. And they almost made me think they were going to bring it back once or twice here. But surely now, this has got to be the end. How are you ever supposed to have secure trade with your bombard towers in this position? That's a lot of camels. But that will be met by conics, by halbs, and more ballista elephants, which have proven to be ridiculous. You know what's a crazy game? When I lose my mouse cursor in the bodies. I thought my mouse died for like 3 seconds there. But nope, we're all good. I love the fight from the Amigos. I respect that. They could easily just be like, you know what, guys? Let's just go next. But I don't think they're used to losing. And obviously, semifinals, you want to fight until you're absolutely certain that you are dead here. And I would say odds are very likely they are. And will tap out here soon. Again, MBL doesn't have to be here at all. Oh, look at this. Now we have another attempt, I guess, from Valis through the middle. MBL sees it, and MBL knows about it. Also going for Siege Onager himself. Can't tell what's happening here. The gate locked? No, I think Valis is just waiting. But he doesn't know MBL's waiting for him. So that's where MBL is. He's like, I will not allow this to happen again. Yeah, that's too many conics. The CA shouldn't be able to push very easily. The trade getting worse and worse here. Chat, would you agree with me that the map was like way better for Amigos as well here? That's my assessment. So, I mean, respect, dude. Respect. They were like super unlucky in a lot of ways. I was surprised it wasn't an admin re in the first place. And then, again, I don't know like the reasoning behind any decisions. I'm sure there's some good reasoning behind it. But yeah, it was just awkward. It was just super, super awkward with the way things were panning out. And here we are. Amigos still fighting. But MBL now has SO too. So SO and Conic. Lands a nice shot there. And yeah, I don't like the wood gate. That kind of bothers me. But yeah, GG's called. What a great game. Woo, what a great game. Man, YouTube, if only you could see my chat right now. They are so freaking pumped. And we're going to get more games. Let's go. I mean, if Tag can win that game, who's to say that they can't come back, you know, get just one more win and take it to a game 5? Who knows, man? Impressive. The key for me, there was a couple things. I felt like the monk control from Sorakuma was absolutely unreal on the right-hand side. Impressive that he was able to compete with Ganji. Z40's ballistas, they were coming in hot and heavy the whole time. His boom was awesome. Let's not forget that he had to support with Lightcaf first, so it wasn't just a straight boom. MBL straight boomed into carrying both sides when needed, dude. He had a great game here. And then Sato, I just want to go back and show you this map. Not only did he lose the pond, not only did he only have 2 shorefish, whatever, but look at his golds. He has like no space to move, right? No space to move around. And then there's both of those golds on the front. And he was 2v1 at one point. Obviously, MBL helped, but still, that was crazy how Sato was able to turn that around. So really, just everyone on tag, it was a complete team effort to win that. They all played very well. And let's see what the stats show us here. Again, it just felt awkward for Madri's Paladins to be useful at times. Felt awkward for Ganji's SO to be useful. 2.26 KD for Z40 with those ballistas. How many conversions? 79 conversions for Sorakuma that game. So that's mainly all on paladins and siege onagers. So the KD doesn't look good, but the conversions would have definitely helped. Not to mention the healing. And there's the eco. MBL more food than anyone. Wasn't even close. But the golden comes. Z40, way more trade profit. So yeah, I said a lot of things about how I thought the map was better for trade. And of course the text like the Caravanserai. But a tag behind their initiative were able to have the more efficient trade and have things set up properly there. GG. All right, can tag do it? Game number 4. Big thing again is I think tag with these civs, they do not want things to be messy on the flank. And this could get fairly messy from what I'm seeing here. We've got players very close. We've got Barles over here for the Amigos. He's moving forward right away, right up against the toe. And then here we've got Sorakuma against Ganji. Now, right away, we've got to look at the pawns. There is 1 pawn per team, and yet again, tag gets the flank pawn. And then you get the pocket pawn for Amigos. So my gut reaction would say that this is really good for the Amigos, because Valis can have that. And Sorakuma has to wall, potentially Vilwar, and Sorakuma may not be able to easily take advantage of this. We'll see. Scouts coming from Valis. No scout on the way yet from Z40? Maybe he did send it and the villagers pathing. It seems like it's just late. It almost seems like the scout's going to protect the Vils, and this is a really good start here for the Amigos in the Vil War. This is what the Amigos want. I think their civs are definitely worse in mid to late imp if this becomes a full-on trade game. So any advantage they can get, they'll take. And the forward wall is huge here. And the sheep will not shut up. I just keep hearing sheep. The forward walls are great because then you can siege and monk push and they can't easily wall behind. That's right next to that pond. More Vils brought from Sorakuma. Now in the previous game, he did the same thing. And then he had no food income. So he couldn't create Vils. So that's going to be rather tough here. So just keep an eye on the Vil count. Another villager goes down. So two villager advantage right now for Ganji. Obviously, doesn't have too much on food either right now. And finally, Z40 is here with the scout. So, I mean, now it's 2 scouts versus 1. Sorry, the other scout is back here for Ganji. I don't want to show idle TC yet, because it's very easy for me to click that bar, and we still haven't seen a clear moment where there's not a lot happening. I'll check that in a second. I would guess there has to have been some idle TC here for Sorakuma. But it might not be that dissimilar, because I think... Oh, nope, there's one more opening still, Ganji. Frustrating for Ganji, unless he can get the wall down right now. Get the wall down right now, and then... Nope. Thinking he gets that wall down, and then he can go 4v3. Now it's 4v4. Ganji, of course, probably trying to save all the weak Vils, trying to macro a little bit. You rotate the weak villagers home, and you rotate the strong villagers forward. But there's the dock. So again, this is what I feel is going to be very helpful, and it's actually Madri who's going to take advantage of it. And not Valis. So Valis is not going to boom with a pond here. There's also some boars here. And oh my goodness, Z40 walked through the middle after walling this and is going to dock the pond. That is actually so sick. That is so well played. I love that. That changes the conversation massively, doesn't it? And honestly, you could probably fish boom here. Add a fish, not fish boom, but you can add a fishing ship or 2, and then you just go fast feudal and try and kill that. That's really nice. Suddenly, Sorakuma's pond isn't looking too bad. Though it's hard for the Gurjaras to use it because you build the mill right away. All right, let me look for idle TC. 2-minute idle TC for Sorakuma. 1 minute for Ganji. And obviously, Sorakuma lost more villagers. So that explains the difference there. I don't think anyone else will have massive idle TC because it wasn't that crazy. Z40 has a little bit. I guess Barles had more than you would expect here as well, considering he just got the full wall down right away. And Valis lost 2 villagers To what? Can't be to wolves. I kind of want to go back and look at that. Did he lose 2 villagers to boars? Or like scouts? Does someone have kills? I think he lost 2 villagers to boars, guys. Because there's no eco kills from tag. Right? Z40 didn't get any kills. No one got any kills. He lost 2 vills to boars. Wow. I mean, that's the only explanation. That or bears, but he's Magyars, and you have a bonus where you one-shot them, so... 2 of them. I must have been... I mean, I kind of want to go back and look at that, but he must have brought in a... boars while also scout fighting, right? He was actively scout fighting on the front and just didn't notice. T90 Ganji has eco kills? Yeah, Ganji killed Sorokuma's vills. We saw that. But what killed 2 Valis vills when Tag has 0 vill kills? Ganji and Valis are on the same team. You can't kill your allies' villagers with scouts. So, yeah. Oh. Hello. Has that been spotted? It feels like MBL is moving around, and he's paranoid right now. And I think he'll become more paranoid when he sees the feudal age time from Valis. Because Valis isn't the one who docked here. So it's not like Valis is going to contest this pond. Here comes Madri. Madri is going to bring boars to Valis. Valis made the barracks here, so the stable can be made here. I'm really going to check MBL's scouting. That would scare me. Because one, I don't know how that villager even got there, by the way. I need to go back and see how early that villager got through. That must have been past Z40's Ville. Before Z40 walled. MBL maybe checking. This happened before. Sato almost got defeated because of Valis. And it's been spotted. It's been spotted. Okay, I think you have to adapt your game plan. I think MBL needs a Rax. And I think you got to go like scouts and spears to help the team here. You're already on Blacksmith Market for the fast castle. I guess that's fine. Especially letting your teammates know that's fine. Someone probably just needs to add a couple scouts and you're probably okay. Fires. V-fires. And Madri had the fires out faster. And it's very hard to position units here. But that should be amazing. Oh, demo? No, where are you going, stupid demo? Oh, no, he can't pass. Okay, well, he kind of had to use it. Wow. These are some MBL walls if I've ever seen them. MBL, I mean, he doesn't have army. It's Magyars with scouts. He's going to go up to Castle Age. Those are the eggiest walls you'll ever see. But it gets the job done. It protects everything. The only thing that will be worrisome, though, is Z40's position. Because Z40's trying to win water, and now he has to wall because of scouts. So Z40's game is so tough right now. But, honestly, I think just continually producing here means that the pond is not a fish boomable pond for Madri. Not in the way that he would want. Also, where's the Vil? Vil's still there. And that could be... This could be an Archer follow-up. Why not? Everyone's just walling against you. Go Archer follow-up. Like, please give me an argument if you disagree, because I am always learning as well, as someone who doesn't play Black Force as much, right? But to me, it feels reasonable for MBL to deviate his plan slightly to try and clear this. Maybe that's just the wrong play. But, like, Z40 needs some form of support. You've got to get rid of this Vil. From my perspective. As uncomfy as it is. But sometimes maybe you just gotta let your teammates struggle a little bit. That villager here from Ganji will want a forward dock. And there it is, but there's a galley almost out for Sorokuma. I think Ganji will not get this dock down. And needs to avoid the shoreline. Scouts are coming this way. Sorokuma's already walled. Very smart play. Obviously, it would be devastating if that wasn't walled up. And still, Z40 hoping to clear this. That's a lot of fires from Madri, dude. That is so many fires. Holy. Now, MBL not doing what I said. Going for the second TC gives him a very nice eco lead over the other pockets. Because Valis is going scouts, and then Madri cannot fish boom. So, MBL will be important later. I like this, though, from Valis. Oh, man, the stone wall between the teams preventing support from coming later is massive. And we do have a bit of a tower war here between Ganji and between Sorakuma. I think we'll see Ganji stay on stone. Well, he's not even on stone yet. It would feel natural for Ganji to want to go castle drop. He lost his villager, by the way. Oh, wait! No, he didn't. This is Ganji, after all. Ganji's quick walls are insane. You do not want this Vil to stay here, and too bad. She's going to stay here. She lives here now. Oh! Yep. Okay, villager stays here. I mean, another wall here from Team Tag to stop the scouts from advancing. Now MBL adds the stable. Okay, I like this timing. The pond, though, is now for Madri, and Madri can start that fish boom. But it did delay it, which is nice. Sorakuma has been on stone, wanting more towers. And Sorakuma really trying to push Ganji here. Ganji realizing which villagers being attacked by the towers and pulling them away is really smart. Still hasn't lost this villager either, which is impressive. And is also maybe thinking about a stone wall here for the team. We didn't ever see archers from Valis, by the way. He went to gold, but there was no range. Sorry, I'm analyzing the situation. 3 TCs from Sito. MBL's got a good TC setup as well. This feels good for Tag, guys. The right side could just completely get steamrolled, as far as I'm concerned. Madri's just now arrived to Castle Age. Barles is kind of behind a little bit in the boom. If Tag can go heavy pressure, early imp on this side, or if they're just full wall, I still think their civilizations are better long term. The wild card is this, though. Valis. The fact that Z40 is walled in is kind of terrifying. Wow, that's a town center spot. Forward town center from Ganji. Yeah, this is also the issue for Tag. Basically, Z40 and Sorakuma could be in big trouble. It's time for Sito and MBL to carry. Not that MBL didn't carry pretty hard in the previous game, but... Fish boom is delayed. Feels more natural to add town centers at this stage. Add farms. So it's not super significant. Dude, Valis is crazy, dude. Valis is wild. Valis might be my favorite Black Forest player to watch. Because he loves his sneaks. He can play the meta. He can play the monks. He can play the boom. I mean, all the players on the Amigos are pretty similar in that they can kind of play every role, which is what makes them so dangerous. I don't think there's another team that can really say that. Even though, you know, they may not end up winning the finals, we'll see. But it's just, he's so entertaining to watch. Oh, man, that was a massive hit on the spears. Z40 just made it to Castle Age. He's going to want pikemen. But now the spears will be peeled off by the knights, probably, and the light cav. And if MBL wants to help,
Yes.
he runs into walls. Does he know about that? Yeah, he knows about the walls. If I were Z40, I would just say, don't worry about me. This might be bad for me, but it's worse for the team if you guys come save me. Go kill the other side. Because it's going to be an ever-living nightmare to try and get rid of Valis. It just is. So I would say, don't worry about it. Tower here from Sorakuma. Sorakuma's still in feudal. That's bad. That's really bad. Ganji's 3 TCs. So the eco count is evened out very nicely here. Yeah, I don't know what... Like, I think MBL doesn't know what to do now. Decisions need to be made on how to how to handle this. I think the decision is maybe to apply some pressure here against Barles. But I think that the civs are better for tag long term. Because they have more civs that get bombard cannon. Is that true? No, they have just as many. I guess 2 civs that get bombard cannon, but they have like... They have siege onager. They have a camel archer. They have really good camels. So... ideally, I guess maybe you don't want to kill fast. Maybe you stabilize in some way. Villager still alive over here. Sorry, missed this. Not sure exactly what went down here. Well played from Z40, dude. Z40's actually dealt with this so well. I'm so freaking impressed that he's just been like, yeah, it's fine. Whatever. You gotta delete that knight, though. And maybe he'll deal with this. He's out-booming Valis. And obviously he was surprised by this. By the way, 35 fishing ships for Madri. So the pocket pond pays off. Dude, that's insane. Like, Madri was behind in the boom, and now he's like 20 or 30 ahead. And the flank pond is going to be pushed. Oh, God. Yeah, ponds are insane, dude. Pond meta is wild. Look at Sorakuma. Take the sheep. He's saving his sheep. I mean, good luck, Sorakuma. I'm worried Sorakuma might not make it to Castle Age here. Valis still has some monks here. He won't make much more than that. He's just going to boom. His job is done. And Sorakuma can't be saved. Oh, wait. He can go this way. He can escape this way. Here comes MBL. MBL's going to send some support. But MBL may also want to kill and pressure the amigos on this side because he's already on the way to Imp. Yeah, I don't have any suggestions to Sorakuma besides run. Because there's knights in your base. There's siege coming. There's another castle. Dude, just freaking run, dude. Just get out of here. Yeah, the eco went full swing because of this pond, man. Ponds are so key. At the time that amigos were behind, it was 9 fishing ships. And he just spams out of crazy amounts of docks. And this pond obviously has been stolen now. That's the only pond they had available. Well, if the game goes late, their civs are still very good. And you got to save what you can. And you have to make it to Castle Age, ideally. I think that's doable. Because the siege and everything isn't all attacking the TC right now. Camel archers are insanely strong. This should be such a good opportunity for MBL to stabilize. But do you really want to be here? I think they need to push. I think they need to be pushing Barles. Like Onager, bombard cannon, something to just break here. Buildings are still here for Valis. Did Valis convert Vils? Bro, Valis converted 2 Vils so he could keep Vils in here and extend the walls. My goodness. Nice escape there from Sorakuma. He does make it to Castle Age. So yeah, there's still a wall off here, and there's still a wall off here. And then there's a couple monks. Oh man, and now Ganji can run through into Z40's base. He can just pass right through. Oh, oh, that's so frustrating for Z40. Like, this is part of why it was like, you can't let Valis hang out in your base. You gotta kill fast, man. There's nothing you can do. You can't add walls because there's army here. You just can't. MBL's camel archers are where exactly? I can't really tell. They're on the front. And they're maybe thinking about a push. Look at this wall. The wall's from Barles. Barles knows he needs some help and time. Does anyone know? Did Valis lose the OG-ville? Maybe he just converted one more? I don't recall. Oh, here are the camel archers for MBL. Okay. It just kind of sucks because you're fighting back for space that you know, you're fighting back for territory that you already had. The Maleville is original. I'll go back and watch. I already made a video on, like, I love that about Black Forest. Like, following one Ville's whole journey and how they affected the game is so sick. What was the name of the one in the YouTube video? I think it was something super uncreative. I think it was, like, Ron. And, of course, I didn't think about it in advance. Like, the whole focus is this one villager, and I didn't think of a proper name. I think his name was Ron. Nah, come on. It wasn't Jeremy. We're not talking about this Ville from the video. Do you guys watch? Bob. It was Ron, right? It was Ron. Thank you, Sniper Game. I think it was Ron. Anyways. We'll find out if this is the OG villager or not, but that villager has changed so much about this game. It just made life so difficult here. Now, what's the comp here going to be for Madri? Obviously, we've got a pause here. Heavy Scorp with Romans makes a lot of sense. Very cheap. Heavy, if not Heavy Scorpion and Halb, you're probably going for Centurion, which is really expensive. And apparently Barles disconnected. They saved. So they're both going to save and they're going to try and restore this. Okay, so this is actually good, though, because it gives me a moment. We can go back and follow the Ville. So let's go. Let's do this. When did the Ville move? I'm just rewinding. Actually, why am I rewinding? Okay. Ah. So yeah, Sora Z40 wasn't walled yet. This is like right at the start of the game. And the villager walks through. And then Z40, thinking he was sneaky and safe, he walls here. And then brings in this villager, which ended up being a good play. Oh, and there's... Okay, so here's one of the villagers dying for Valis to the boar. Because Valis was walling in the Ville. And then does he immediately lose another one? Or did he already lose two at this point? I don't know. I mean, he definitely lost to Boars. I don't know if we have the time to really look at everything. Eco KD... Valis already has 2 losses. So he must have lost another one to another boar. Which I know chat really wants to see, so I'm going to show you. Maybe this boar? Because that Ville's running through the middle right now. So, and he's fighting with the scout. He's doing both. Wouldn't have lost one at this point. Yep, there's the other one. So yeah, it was definitely 2 villagers to boars. We were right. Okay, let's go back. They're gonna restore. Okay, so we're back in business. We had a very long wait after a restore, but we are in. And to catch people back up to speed, basically, Sorakuma is very, very, very much in trouble. MBL is trying to reclaim this area right now with bombard cannons and camel archers. And this is against Ganji, who's still in Castle Age. So if Ganji gets pushed right back, things could get rather interesting. And this castle from MBL is absolutely clutch. Honestly. I think this is a huge castle, because otherwise onagers could be a problem. So I thought before the break that MBL should push here, but if you're not going to do that, you got to come this direction. And that's good work. Also, not much of a push from Valis happening. Valis will come into the game eventually. And Ganji may have trapped himself here. MBL. Straight boom. Getting to his ideal comp. Castle's already down. Beautiful play. Ganji's still 2 minutes from Imp, guys. Ooh, now docks from Madri. That is clutch. Because if you add Dramans here, you can stall out this area, which is all they really want. Now, the Arambai from Ganji are going to make it through. And we've got the elite step lancers from Sito. Trebs and onagers from him, but we've got lots of walling here from Barles. So Barles is just being patient now, which he's done a really good job of in this series. It's like Valis was trying to build a stable here that maybe got denied. But who's going to stop MBL right now? I think the civilizations for tag are better if everyone's stabilized long term. Camel archers are part of that. I don't know what you can do against Bombard Cannon Camel Archer for the time being. You can't go Scorpions with the Romans if the Bombard Cannons are there. And you can't go Halbs if the Camel Archers are there. And then what else do you make? So many walls over here. So many walls. And then here's stables from Valis. So Valis is going to go Paladin. I guess like full Paladin is not a bad play, ever. Yeah, I agree that Z40 should probably wall this now. That's annoying that he had to deal with that. But he also has 140 eco and has done a good job there. So he didn't lose much. I think MBL needs to dive on these Dramans. You'll lose some. You might lose quite a few Camel Archers, but just you need to take this out fast. It's not going to get any easier for you. This is good. Yep. If you allow this to mass up to 12 to 15 Dramans, you'll never be able to push. Kills it immediately. Tagger doing great on this side. Now, Z40 is not my half-brother. I have heard that joke before. Yeah, look, even Barles is here with the tower. They're doing anything they can so they don't lose ground, but they're losing a lot of it. We'll see, though. I mean, population's still really high for the Amigos. And that's mainly because Sorokuma is kind of out of the game for the time being. Paladin 90 seconds away from Valis. Yes, those are Camel Archers that Ganji converted. I think Ganji going Arabai is not a bad play in the long run. But maybe for now, until he gets more castles, he has to go Monks. He has to go Halbs. And then he can make his own Bombard Cannons. I think Z40's name used to be like Z40 and then like a bunch of other numbers. I think it was his student ID, actually. That's what it was. Someone told me. Apparently, it was really common for people to just play with their student ID. I think I got that detail like a year or so ago. But then obviously he, changed that. Oh, this area's been reclaimed. MBL also benefiting from a lot of that gold, which is probably not bad. Camel Archers are proving really tough to stop, but the monks from Ganji converting some here or there. And now the Paladins are here. MBL doesn't have a lot of his army here because he's starting to shift over to this side to pressure. But now Barles has deleted his walls and now he's willing to fight. That's the benefit of having the walls, right? You get to decide when the fights are taken. And wow, all those Bombard Cannons will get sniped. Well played there from Valis. There are Trebs from Sito. But I think Barles is hoping to be able to get through and snipe those Trebs. That's tough, though. These are Tatar Trebs with full upgrades, so they've got 19 range. They can hit from distance. And that's a castle down. Onagers and Paladins now for Madri and Valis through the middle. And MBL, and mainly MBL on the left side, but a little bit of support still from Sito. I think that'll be short-lived because Sito is focused on the right. But Z40 needs SO, and that's on the way. Oh, wow. Did Madri do select all docks when he produced the Dramans? That's 7 population that's useless right now. That's interesting. I mean, maybe that'll come in clutch later on, but I think he just accidentally produced the Dramans there. And Siege Onager almost in here for Z40. There is not a Siege Onager Civ for the Amigos. And just the walls from Ganji. He's still got to build something up here. He still needs more cannons, more halbs. He's not really been a factor the last few minutes. I don't think the wasted res is an issue for Madri's Dramans. It's the wasted pop space. And in general, he's got a massive eco that probably needs to be a bit smaller for him to contribute. But what did the Romans contribute here? I mean, their military options are limited. And we have a pause. I love waiting 10 whole minutes to get into a restore and then having a pause 3 minutes afterwards. I hope it's not another disconnect because I might lose my mind. Please no drop. Please no drop. Dancing cactus is stop complaining, you frick. You're a cactus. Shouldn't you call me a prick instead?
Yes.
Because you're all prickly? Wrong choice of words, dude. Alright. So, monks from Ganji moving forward. That's his main composition beyond the bombard cannons. And I mean, if they can run right through here, there's not many castles to stop them. There's just that one castle there, right? It's a lot of paladins from Valis here. And there's always the potential that maybe Ganji will delete this wall and come through. That shouldn't be a big priority right now for Tag. They need all hands on deck right here. I'm just not seeing a lot of military from Z40 at the moment. Where are the Halbs? I think he was prepping to go this direction and now is over here. You see a lot of that army's back here, so it'll get here eventually. But it's also tough for MBL because his castles are split up as well. And this is all coming so fast, dude! Look at how coordinated the amigos are. Fighting like true amigos here. The bombard cannons, the halbs, the paladins, the monks, all sitting here together. MBL, he hops out with those with those camel archers, and the group gets converted. The castle does go down, but you might need to back up now. That's a lot of SO, and that's a lot of units clumped up here for the amigos. Halbs get slaughtered. But Valis will dive for those siege onagers. They've got to be really happy with how that engagement went in general. And still, Barles is just kind of playing defense on this side. He is slowly creeping forward with some keeps. MBL again, forced to dive in. Ganji getting so many conversions, dude. He converts half the Camel Archer army again. He's insane. He's an absolute animal. By the way, if you're questioning what Sorakuma is doing, Sorakuma is slinging right now. This is part of the plan. Because if you don't know how you're going to immediately help the team, you're probably just going to send them res. Especially because they can't trade. Eventually, he'd love to come back into the game, but it doesn't feel like that's realistic. I mean, he does no space, really. And he needs trade for gold income, so... He might not actually even be slinging at the moment. I'm not seeing notifications, but that could be the long-term plan. Getting to those camels could be really helpful. Sorakuma's not imp, cannot sling. Okay, well, he lost all his gold, right? That's a fair point. I didn't realize he wasn't imp. But I'm just talking long-term plan. That's what you do. Like, that's why you overboom. But my friend, get Caravan, man. Trade is so slow. I think so. I mean, when I look at that eco count, I just think that's someone who's going to eventually sling. But you need to go imp, Sorakuma. You got to get imp. There's a lot that has to happen here. That just isn't happening. Tough, of course. You know, it's really tough to have to recover in these types of games. And I think this is where having tons of experience, having to reboom and like being killed off basically and coming back from the dead, that just comes down to games played, right? I think that's got to be part of it. And here comes Ganji now. I don't know, guys. Like, it's 3v4 and no end in sight. And they're never going to reclaim this area with the amount of buildup we're seeing here from Ganji. And now Imp is on the way. Okay. So Imp is on the way. But how is Z40 supposed to stop the Halbs? He got a lot of walls down, but the bombard cannons are through. And these are Burmese Halbs, and MBL already still has a lot of his focus over here now. Clearly he noticed, though. His camel archers are on the way there. What would Gurjaras make? Against Halb, it's tough. I think Chakram throwers is what you want. But it's so tough to get that many castles. Because there's no siege onager on the other side, which is why I think chakrams can work really well. But you need so many castles. It's definitely an awkward spot to be in. That's been such patient play from Barrows. Any engagement Barrows takes, it's because he wanted that engagement. Because he just walled up like a maniac. And of course, all the other players have to go to the other side now. And look at the progress he's made with these towers. So patient. MBL's Camel Archers will probably put a stop to this. Snipe the bombard cannons. And that means the buildings won't be taken out. And the houses will get sniped as well. But now he's not here. Nice shot from Madri, by the way. I think it's very awkward civ to play with right now, the Romans. I really like how he's played. He did delete the Dramans, by the way, too. So he noticed that. Which is kind of funny. He's probably like, where's my pop space? Paladins into the trade now as well. Ooh, Elephant Archer is actually not a bad choice for Sorakuma. That's a really good choice. It's slow, but it's tanky. I know Z40's floating res, but he is producing actively all the time. Siege Onagers and Halbs, every building I'm looking at is producing. It's just so tough for him to spend everything as quickly as he can. And a lot of Arabia players won't want to hear me say this, but like controlling Halb SO is kind of a bit of an art, man. Like it's not easy to do. When you have a player who can't get the Halbs in the right positions, in these situations, this happens. And that's not really Z40's fault. That's just he had to shift over here. Yeah, because the Halbs are constantly moving away from your siege. The last thing you want when going Halb SO is fighting in multiple choke points. So tough to control. Onagers getting sniped. MBL's Camel Archer's back again. But he's just cleaning up. He's the janitor now. Like, he's cleaning up the messes. And they're never able to take any good fights. Sato has been fighting a 1v1 versus Barrows over here. Barrows dropping some gates. Missing that one there. But he'll be happy with that. Hell, Bombard Cannon is completely fine for him. No complaints. MBL's an amazing player, but you can't fight in every situation at once. But okay, here there's Elephant Archers now. So now Sorakuma actually has army. The population's actually much closer than I'd think it would be, based on the flow of the game. And Sorakuma has 60 trade cards. He could start to spread some love and share the gold. If they lose this game tag, they will not make it to the final. So obviously they're going to fight on until they are completely certain their chances are gone. His Lancers are absolutely insane. But I'm worried about these 3 castles for MBL. I feel like there might be a moment where Bombard Cannons or Trebs come in and take all of those down. But they're holding the line. Well, they've held this line. They're losing this. Casual Onagers versus Castle here from Ganji. It's unfortunate Z40 doesn't notice that, because he could focus all those Onagers down. But Ganji knows he doesn't notice that, and that the Halbs are dying instead. Oh, okay. Siege Onager hops out. Okay. Ooh, big shot. Castle's still being built, though. Castle's still being built. This castle will go down to the Onagers and the Bombard Cannon. The villager building that is probably going to die. But now there's even trebuchets here, dude. Amigos are just everywhere. Just so freaking good. Even in the game they lost, they just played incredible. And they fought super hard there, too. Like, I thought they were dead so many times, and they just never died. Okay, well, they stopped this push here. And now they're losing the next area. Great to see Madri playing as well, by the way. He doesn't play 1v1s much at all these days. He's less active. Used to play a lot more arena maps, would play tournaments. I think he's pretty much retired from 1v1 events. I don't think there was a statement made. I don't know exactly where he stands, but he's a freaking sick player, dude. Great to see him active. And Amigos, without Madri, would they have that fourth, which is as solid as all the rest? I'm not sure. That's the beauty of the team, is they can all play rat mode with sneak and boom and monk mode if they need to. And then they've got their late game. Still, though, let's not forget that start from Valis. That start from Valis pretty much set up all of this, in my opinion. I think without that sneak, life is a lot easier for MBL and for Z40. And if life's easier for them, life is maybe a little bit easier for Sorakuma and for Sito as well. Sito is even losing some ground now. He'll do what he can to snipe these Bomber cannons. Great snipes. He'll hold. But the team still so cramped. I think it's going to actually take some time, just because, like, they don't have Siege Onager themselves. But eventually, the lack of trade and the lack of flow in the trade is going to hurt Tag, and they won't be able to produce anymore. We've got 123 gold per trip, the perfect trade from edge to edge on the map. It's a straight line. They probably cleared out buildings as well and deleted buildings in the way. Maybe need to do some of that here, like delete those houses. And this is some awkward trade, to say the least, right now for Tag, but it's flowing. I think it's actually more likely that Sito gets broken than... Yeah, I take it back. I think it's just as likely that Sito gets broken than the middle gets broken. I'm looking at these towers now from Barrels, and I don't see how they're supposed to push that back. And then there's also the push here from Ganji. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Tag's pop is super high. None of them are below 100 pop. They're all like 170, 180, but it's just not what they need where they need it. And they're just stuck in the mud here, man. I love how... I love when a player contributes with, like, towers in an area when they're fighting actively in the other areas. It's always really cool to see. It's kind of rare. Usually people are just supporting the same area of the screen that they're pushing. But this is not the first time we've seen this from Barrels today. I think maybe it was Valis that did it in a previous game, but look at all those keeps. So sick. And obviously, if you have the trade, you can just buy more stone at a better price and snowball this. Paladins are killing some trade. The Paladins will get sniped by the Camel Archers. We've seen this before. But damage is being done. And now the Scorpions and the Onagers are just a doorstep away. A doorstep? A footstep? There's no doors, but whatever. You know, they're close. Oh, man. Elite Elephant Archer is just now coming in for Sorakuma. That's quite late. But a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. I'm not sure having Elite would have necessarily changed any of these fights. I mean, it would have made a difference. Does that mean they're able to push back against all this madness? I'm not too sure. And Tag slowly losing hope, losing grounds. And the casters slowly running out of new and creative ways to imply that Tag is dead. There will be a third place match tomorrow, so they'll be able to play in that. But Amigos, kind of one of the expected teams to make it into the finals. Everyone would have predicted maybe GL and Amigos in the final, and it looks like that will be on the cards tomorrow. Can Tag win from here? I don't see how. I don't see how, dude. They're losing on every front. They would need like... They need Barrels to disconnect again, and then for the restore not to work, and then for the admins to tell them to start from scratch. Z40's asking for every resource, not just one of them. He asks for gold, wood, food. But I think they're just going to call it here. GG and Amigos win the semifinal. So a bit of a struggle, obviously, to finish out this game because of the spec delay issue. But what a fun watch, dude. I mean, Amigos are just super smooth, super solid in their decision making. I love how Barles just... I love how he played this side. It was so patient, and he needed that patience because the situation was Sato was ahead of him, and MBL was in a great position as well. They could have easily, if the walls weren't here, pushed this area, and then the fact that Sorakuma is getting pushed on the left isn't as big of a factor because both sides are losing a flank. But Barles knew, he's like, I need to just stay alive. He did exactly that, and then, I mean, Valis' sneak, of course, put Z40 in awkward positions. It's just like the whole game, it felt like because of the sneak, Tag was reacting, which is not what you want. Now, I can't be that critical of how MBL played because I said at one point MBL needs to just stop the sneak and kill the Vil. But if you do that, then you don't have the boom. And he was competing in a boom against a player with a crazy pond. So there was pressure on him not to give too much power to that villager, especially because Z40 defended overall pretty well. But yeah, there's the res collected. Obviously, some of the data gets cut off here, so I don't think this is all super accurate. But there's the KD. And Amigos will move on to the final tomorrow. They're just a complete team. So I am curious to see how Amigos will perform against GL tomorrow because GL certainly have, well, GL have the individual talent 100%, but they also have like good collective talent as a team. Where that good collective talent as a team doesn't have as much experience is on Black Forest. That's where the Amigos have way more hours. GL, though, have been putting in the hours. They've been playing lots of BF. Viper's been obsessed with Black Forest for a couple of years now. Tato's so good on it. Hera, I don't know if he's loving it per se, but he's a beast on it. And then, of course, there's Doubt. So, or did I say Doubt? And, of course, there's Tato. It should be a good final. So, it should be fun. I think that's kind of what the host would have wanted as well. The perfect final is probably the Amigos versus GL.